Hello class. Um, so this will be the review for the practice questions packet number 1. So let's get started on this one. So here we have this one is the midpoint. That means when you look into this one, RS was 30, and then XV was 44, and this TU is our X. Now the relationship in the trapezoid was the middle line was average of those two. So in fact, 30 plus x over 2 was equal to 44. In other words, 30 plus x is equal to 88. By multiplying by 2 on each side, then x becomes simply 58. Therefore, the answer will be equal to 2. Now, another way of doing this one would have been simply drawing a line right here, then you end up getting two triangles where this has the half of the other one, so that which makes this one equal to 15. Then 44, from 44, if you take away 15, then this becomes 29. And then when you look into another triangle right over here, since this is 29 being the midpoint, connection of the midpoint, then x has to be double of that, which still is equal to 58. Either way would have been fine. All right, next question. So we have triangle. Now let us try to draw a triangle and then see what happens. So I'm just gonna draw a triangle. It doesn't really matter. It looks like an equilateral, but of course it's not. But we'll just assume, we'll just use this one for convenience sake. This one is equal to x. This one is equal to 2x plus 2. The other one is 3x plus 4. Now what's the value of x? When you add them up, it has to be equal to 180. So then when you add x plus 2x plus 2 plus 3x plus 4 equals 180, then we will end up getting 6x plus 6 equals 180. Now here, then 6x must be equal to 174. Now as you divide by 6, then x should be equal to 29. Therefore, our answer becomes 29 right over here. All right, next. Now, when you look into this construction, notice that this mark that you see here means that line segment from here to here must be equal to this line segment. And from there, we are cutting up these two. Basically, this is the construction of the angle bisectors. Meaning, this angle must be equal to that angle. So, which one has that? Angle ABD is not the half of CBD. But in fact, if you go down right here, CBD, this small angle, must be the half of, in fact, that's not either, ABD, oh, right here. ABD is equal to CBD. That will be our answer. All right, next question. Here, many students, many of you guys had questions about this one. In fact, imagine if the distance between the center and then the chord is very small, then it would have been a diameter. You can see right here. We know that diameter is the longest chord, but on the other hand, if this distance between the center and the chord is farther away, what will happen is that the chord will be in fact far smaller than how it used to be. In other words, closer the chord is to the center, longer the chord is. That makes AB the longest, and then second one should be AC, and third one should be BC. Now, then I believe the choice becomes number 1. There it goes. All right, now, so here I believe it will be better if you have to draw the triangle. AB and then BC is the same. That makes, I have this one, Since B has been repeated, as you can see right here, what I'm going to say is B must be way up there, and then I'm going to put A, and then I'm going to put down right here C. And we realized that this line segment must equal to that line segment here so far. And then an altitude is drawn from B to AC, so we have another altitude right here. I'm going to just use the blue. Why not? That's the altitude, right? Okay, now given that, and that is equal to point D right here, and altitude being, it becomes the right perpendicular to its base, which the conclusion is not always true. So ABD, which means that upper angle, and then CBD. In fact, that is true because the altitude in an isosceles triangle works as an angle bisector, so that's okay. BDA. BDA, oh, that's the right angle, which is BDC, so that's also okay. AD, which is this line segment, is that equal to BD? Not necessarily. So therefore, the answer will be choice 3. All right, now here, we realize that PB is equal to 4, right here, and then BC is equal to 5. Now we like to find out PA. In this case, if I call this one as x, then x squared is equal to outside, which is 4 times the total, which is 4 plus 5. Now, we realize that this is equal to 36. That makes x equals 6, which is this one. All right, let's move on. Here we have a picture. You see, what's actually happening here is that this angle has been copied onto this angle. In other words, corresponding angles are congruent, which makes these two lines to be parallel. So, now, we are looking for something that's parallel. Two lines are perpendicular? No, we are looking at these two. 3 or 4. Let's look into that. When two lines are intersected by transversal, the alternate interior angles are in fact, in the previous case, the angles are not alternate interior angles. Those are corresponding angles. And in fact, that will make number 4 as the answer right over here, as you can see. All right, the next question. Now here, the equation of the circle goes this way. X minus h, notice the minus is there, plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared, where h and k are the centers. Now then, when you plug in -2 and 3 on that location, we would have gotten x minus -2, which makes things positive, plus y minus 3 squared is equal to radius 5 squared. Now when you simplify this one, we will get an answer that will be equal to number 3. All right, now the next question. So in this case, let us say line L, line J and K are intersect at point P. So imagine if we have one line and another line. I'm just going to use the ray for the line, and then let us say those are intersecting, and the intersection point would have been equal to P, so I'm going to put P right over here. Now, given that line N is drawn so that it is perpendicular to, now in order for the line to be perpendicular to J or K, that means, hey, wait a minute, let's be perpendicular to both lines in this case, then that line M, in fact, would have been coming straight up out of the screen. Yes, out of the screen. In other words, it will be perpendicular to the plane that is formed by line J and K, which is your screen, so which makes choice 4 to be our answer. All right, here we have parallelogram, and then SV is equal to x plus 3. Now VU is equal to 2x minus 1, and TU is equal to 4x minus 3. Now notice that since it's a parallelogram, this value must be equal to that value. Let us set them equal to each other. X plus 3 is equal to 4x minus 3. Now after a few calculations, we get 6 equals 3x, which makes x equals 2. Now, let's look at the question. Question is, what is SV? SV, since x was equal to 2, this becomes 2 plus 3, which is equal to 5. That becomes our final answer, which is choice number 1. Right, next. Parallel, that means the same slope. What is the slope here? In fact, you can just bring this one over to the other side and then try to do it. Now, even though that is possible, but since I can do for all of them, but since it's a parallel, same slope, slope means the same ratio, which makes, notice that 2 to 5. 2 to 5, in fact, can be found only in choice number 3. Now here, angle, one measure of the arc is 87, the other one is 35. We are looking for angle CEA. CEA, meaning this angle. How do we do that? We gotta add. So 87 plus 35 divided by 2. That would have been our answer here. It becomes 110, and then so 122 over 2, which ends up in 61, becomes our final answer, which means choice number 2. Alright, we're moving on. In the diagram, right, so we have that is equal to 90-degree angle, and AD is equal to 5 radical 2. And then AB is equal to 2 radical 15. Now we are looking for this one, so BD, so we call them as X. Since it's a right triangle, we can use the Pythagorean theorem, so we have X squared plus 5 square root of 2 squared equals 2 square root of 15 whole thing squared. Now when you simplify, this becomes x squared. Here you will end up getting plus 50, which is equal to here 60. Then x squared is equal to 10, which makes x to be plus or minus square root of 10. Now, since it has to be the length, so it cannot be negative, therefore our answer becomes simply positive 10. Alright. Distance. In this case, one thing that I like to do many times, yes, I can use the distance formula, but this time I like to use graph paper. It makes things more concrete. Now here we have -3, comma 2, -3, comma 2 right over here. And then 1, comma 0, which is right over here. Then when you look into that, in order for you to get that distance, what we end up doing is we end up drawing this vertical and horizontal lines. These vertical, the length of the vertical line is 2. Horizontal seems to be 4. So how do you find x? Here x squared becomes 2 squared plus 4 squared, which in fact simplifies into 20. Therefore, x is equal to square root of 20, as we well know, or 2 radical 5. So choice becomes number 4. All right. Now, we will start from this question for the next part of the video. See you soon.